So just come out and check it out. It's 45 minutes.
45 minutes and check it out, and
He's going to jump at you if you don't
hopefully
wrap
save
up.
a life. Thank you. Hello, and welcome back to A Deadly Silence. I'm your host, Larry Curtis, along with Officer Nancy Leedberg of the Brockton Police Department. And with us this afternoon is also a panel of concerned parents and a middle school education teacher who will be asking Nancy some follow-up questions referencing the Not My Kid program. I'd like to have our parents introduce themselves and tell us of how many children that they have, please.
My name is Maria Serrano, and I have 6 children, but only 4 living at home, ages 19, 15, 13, and 11.
My name is Yolande Wilson. I am a parent of 3. My children are younger, 11, 9, and 8.
I'm Amy LaForte. I'm a middle school teacher, and I lost my sister, my younger sister, this year of a heroin overdose.
And I'm Jan McGrory, and my daughter Liz, her sister, passed away in January.
Okay, what we're going to do is have each of our parents and our teacher ask some questions of Officer Leedberg concerning the Not My Kid program. Maria, could you go first, please?
Sure. Am I invading my children's privacy when I go through their stuff, like their backpack, in like the bedroom? And
That can be a very personal question for parents and very difficult for them to deal with, but I think most parents that have survived situations with their own kids can honestly say no, because you are ultimately responsible for your child, especially if they're still living with you. And it can be the best way to find out if they are trying to keep something from you. Because a child, the national average for hiding drug use from parents is 2 years.
Okay, thank you.
So a child could be potentially involved in some form of an addiction behavior for up to 2 years, and as parents, we could be totally clueless about that.
It goes under the radar.
It goes under the radar, okay.
Because you dismiss it as other things. Typical teenage behavior, hormones, bad grades, breakup with a boyfriend or girlfriend. There's a whole other thing. Well, obviously, you guys all know. So.
Litany of things that can be
Yes.
happening out there. Okay.
Thank you.
Yolene, you have a question for Officer.
Yes, I do. As I said before, my kids are younger. So, seeing that they are younger, what age would you suggest I speak to them about drugs?
That's another personal question. It really depends on the maturity of the child. We host the program in hopes to get parents with kids in the 6th grade or entering the 6th grade in the program, but I believe the conversation starts a lot sooner, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. But as soon as you start talking to your kids about safety behavior and safety tips, not talking to strangers, things like that, you eventually just elaborate on that and turn it into drugs and alcohol and safe behaviors.
Okay, and Jan, if I can switch over to you, and obviously the loss of Liz was, very, very traumatic at the beginning of the year here, but what kind of question do you have for Officer Leedberg?
Well, if I've had a drug talk with my children, is it necessary to do any further drug testing?
Ideally, we give the drug test kits in the program so that the kids can have an absolute out if they're asked from one of their friends, because peer pressure is still very prevalent among young kids. So if you have the drug test kit at home and it's the last thing the kids see before they go out or the first thing the kids see when they come over, then that can be their out. Do you want to use something? And they can say to their friends, I can't, I'm drug tested at home. And then they have the drug test kit to prove it. But testing your kid, it is a personal decision. And if you do decide to drug test your kid, we always suggest having a plan. Knowing who you're going to call if there is a positive result, having a drug counselor, or if you're going to call the pediatrician, the child's pediatrician. But I am for drug testing because I think that it corroborates what they're already telling you. If they tell you that they're drug-free and you take the test, then they're only gaining more trust. For instance, if they came home and said, I got all A's, are you going to check the report card? And the answer, I think, is yes.
What would you do in relationship to a kid who won't take the drug test? I mean,
that's usually a yes.
That's usually a yes, that they're involved in something.
When a parent
go
goes
ahead.
home with a kit and they put it on the table and they have the conversation, And it's, what's that? That's a drug test kit. What are you going to do? I'm going to drug test you. Why? Why? You don't trust me?
Right, that's the
You don't
typical
love me?
behavior, right,
You know?
yeah.
So when you get that, it's usually yes.
That there's some type of involvement going on
Yeah.
at that point in time.
You can save the
So-
$40 kit.
So actually, in some way, in some instances, when you mentioned the peer pressure, we know that, you know, the kids out there today, there's a lot of peer pressure put on them from, you know, their friends, you know, throughout the area, whether it's high school, neighborhood, and so forth of that nature. So in some ways, the drug kit that's available through the program is a reverse peer pressure
Yes.
issue that can help the kid to say no.
Yes.
You know, when they're feeling pressured and say, no, my mom's got a test kit at home. If I walk in, I have to take that test. You know.
And believe it or not, Larry, but for a long time, peer pressure was the #1 reason they cited for experimenting. And now it's actually stress.
It's stress.
Yeah.
I think all of us as parents feel that stress as
Right.
equally as much as
Right.
well. Would you agree?
And it's transferring
Right.
to the kids.
Exactly. Amy, as a middle school teacher, what are you seeing? You got a classroom of 30 kids out there probably. What's going on?
It's great fun. But my question is, what do you do with prescription drugs when you're done with them, if you have extras left over?
At the presentation, we recommend going on the FDA website, fda.org, and researching what drug you have and how to dispose of it properly. But we also give a handout at the training, too. I could not memorize all that stuff.
No, there's too much stuff
not-
out there.
not tonight.
Yeah. What is, I saw in some of your literature out there that the President's Task Force or Advisory Council.
White House drug policy.
White House drug policy mentions that parental involvement is maybe the strongest deterrent to,
It's
you know,
still
to keeping our
significant.
kids.
Significant parental involvement is still the most important thing in preventing your child from using drugs.
And that involvement is a lot more than just sitting at the kitchen table.
It's not
you
just
know.
the talk anymore.
Right. hmm
It's not just the talk.
It is what might be an invasion of privacy that we heard Maria talk about
Sure.
issue. It's not an invasion of privacy. They are our children. We are responsible for them, and we need to take that responsibility seriously
Yeah.
in today's age of drug addiction that's happening out there.
And when I check up on my son, I tell him it's because I love him.
And ultimately, I think they all recognize that, even though sometimes it might be a tough love,
Sure.
you know, from that perspective. We've got about 30 seconds, you know, left here. As, you know, the shepherd of the program here in the city of Brockton, what would you leave with our audience out there tonight?
That's right on.
There you go.
I would say that if parents want more information, they can go to brocktonpolice.com, or they can join our Facebook page at Brockton Police Community Education. And I am always available by email, nancy@brocktonpolice.com, if an organization is interested in hosting an event, or if a parent wants more information, or if they just have a question.
And these programs will kick back into gear when the school year starts back in
Yeah,
September?
we're going to start right
Yeah,
off in
okay.
September.
And great. Well, I want to thank our panel of parents for taking some time out this afternoon to come in and sit with us. Nancy, I want to thank you for sharing with us your program, and hopefully you out there as our audience will take Nancy up and participate and attend these drug awareness programs that are out there. On behalf of all of us here at Deadly Silence, we want to thank everybody for being here, and we'll see you in our next episode. Thank you.
Hey Mom, what's up?
Hey honey, how are you?
I'm good. Listen, can I borrow $20?
$20? Didn't I give you $60 earlier this week?
Mom, the money goes fast. Can I just please borrow $20?
Honey, I gave you $60. You have a job. What are you doing with your money?
Mom, the money just goes fast, okay? Can I just please have $20?
Alright, go get my purse.
Thank you.